finished up a job today, and what a lot of it comes down to is documentation. Actually, I finished up the job I'm speaking of today that I started Friday. So we ran on towards the end of the day, and they had things to do. I had other jobs to do, but he couldn't find his calendar. His calendar disappeared from Outlook. So when I'm the outsider, if you don't have documentation, it makes the job a lot more difficult for me. So turns out I was able to get in and out of there when I finally kept probing him for what's your other list of emails. Turns out he has a Gmail account. That's where his calendar was. So in logging that account into Outlook, his stuff came back. So I think at some point he may have accidentally deleted the account from his list of emails. And a lot of people don't realize an email is not necessarily one you correspond with. It's a placeholder to log into a myriad of accounts that we all have. And I had to explain that. His Gmail isn't one he used to compete or communicate with, but it's still necessary for his calendar because that's the calendar he married himself to. And a lot of people don't realize that the Outlook that gets installed on your hard drive is a web browser for your email and calendars. A lot of people don't like Outlook. I personally don't like Outlook only because it's been a big pile of code that hasn't really been very reliable for the decades it's been around. Me personally, if I was to use calendar, I use the calendar. Google is just easiest because it's a cloud-based calendar. I don't have to worry about hardware not working properly or an app like Outlook not working properly. So if you're worried about reliability, using an online service can be an easy way to deal with it. But in his case, if you want to use advanced tools like Outlook offers, as unreliable as it is, you need to know what you're using to log into these accounts. And unfortunately, if you don't have someone to help hire you, if you don't hire help to help you set this stuff up, you don't understand fundamentally, unless you do a little bit of your own research, how it works. I'm like the dentist. People hire me to get problems taken care of. They don't show up at the dentist passionate about their teeth. They just want the problem to go away. So documentation is one thing, and hiring good help when you're into all the tech that you're not really passionate about. If you want to make sure you know how it all works and goes together and what's going on, get someone who's articulate enough to explain what's going on. You have a Gmail account. It's not one you correspond with, but it's the placeholder for your calendar. So if you're able to get someone to understand what's going on under the hood, it makes things a little bit better. Because I spent a couple hours trying to figure out why his calendar wasn't populating. He didn't have a PST file with a local calendar, and he was using an email for his corporate email, but it was just an IMAP setup, which basically means he's paying not for calendar services like 365, but just email through a web host. He bought his domain through GoDaddy. He's using HostGator for his IMAP services, but no 365 calendar. He was using Gmail calendar, which he used to log in. And for someone who's not knowledgeable, it's confusing. Why am I using my Gmail I don't email out with to log into Outlook? It's the container for the calendar. It all happens in the cloud. That's what a novice needs to understand. And your techie needs to be articulate in explaining. So anyway, that was my morning house call. Have a good day.